Good day, everybody. It is currently the 17th of October, 2012, and today we are still talking about severe tropical storm, now downgraded from a typhoon yesterday. Prapiroon, just towards the south of Okinawa here. You can see on the infrared satellite imagery, this is just falling apart. If you remember, just about 3 days ago, there was a very clear and defined eye near that center of circulation. Well, now it is just a former remnant of itself. Just basically some good inflow coming in from the south, but the northern periphery is completely and utterly exposed due to some vertical wind shear here. And also we have Maria. Not good news, Maria. Well, that one's jettisoning off there towards the northeast. So really, we're not even going to concentrate about this one today. If you are in the Osagara Islands, you're currently seeing the winds from this storm system, but as far as everywhere else, it's not going to affect anybody. Do not expect it to continue to intensify, actually weakening over the next several days. And then later on in the update, we're going to talk about this low pressure area pushing across northeastern China. Well, that's going to bring rain all across Japan. And then we were also yesterday talking about this little invest area down here around 160 east. See all that convection there? Still watching it, but it doesn't look like as very likely for development as it was yesterday. But first things first, the Prapiroon, as you can see here on this infrared satellite imagery, completely and utterly exposed on the northern periphery of this tropical system. The southern periphery still has very good inflow, but as far as Okinawa, I actually think that conditions are not going to be as bad as we originally anticipated here when it had all that convection along the north, because now it does look like as it starts to move here towards the west and then churns towards the northeast, jettisoning off there towards the north, you're going to have a lot of dry air inflow coming in from the northwest towards Okinawa and much of the southern Japanese islands. So with that said, rain is not going to be a major threat, but winds and high waves are still going to be kicking up across here. About 6 to 8 meters could be seen near the coastlines. You do not want to venture out towards the beaches, as we have been saying for nearly a week now since the storm system. Well, it's been kind of just looping around here off towards the east. Kind of did a loop there. Now it's pulling back there towards the west. Really has been turning up the seas across all of the East China Sea here and the Philippine Sea. So this entire area across this region here is definitely going to still see these high seas build in, but right now winds are sustained at 60, gusting up to 85 knots near the center of circulation. The wind field's still rather spread out across much of this area. Actually, if we take a look at the current ASCAP imagery, you can see kind of an indication of how far the winds are spread out. And this imagery basically takes the movement of the waves reflected back up to a satellite into space, and it kind of gives you a rough estimate of the winds and their direction. And it does show here you have actually about near tropical storm strength clear out towards the eastern portions of Taiwan and the extreme western portions of the southern Japanese islands. But look at these tropical storm strength winds all the way towards the east here. So look at that huge swath where these winds are currently impacting near gale or above gale force strength. So definitely a shipping traffic going through here, but also just those winds are very widespread. Thus, expect these to continue to linger, and you might even see winds upwards of 100 kilometers per hour gusting above as Prapiroon cruises by there towards the southeast, then eventually starts to move off towards the northeast, gradually speeding up as we go into Thursday and Friday. But by this time, I really do think it's going to be completely exposed, really not too much of a significant tropical system, and it is not expected to regain that typhoon intensity either. So if you are here in Okinawa, you're kind of worried about the storm, I would suggest definitely make proper preparations if you already, for some reason, have not made proper preparations, despite the fact you have been hit by 3 significant typhoons this year. But you definitely want to have that ready, but really nothing to panic about. I don't even think this is really going to affect too many people's daily lives across much of the southern Japanese islands as it starts to cruise by, going on Wednesday into Thursday. Now, what's going to cause the storm to move off quickly towards the northeast? Well, that's actually kind of segueing to the next thing that I was going to talk about, the heavy precipitation over Japan. It's this trough coming out of northeastern China. You can see all of that area in red. That's that troughing. This is about 30,000 feet up in the air. Well, what this is going to act is kind of a catch and hook. It's going to grab Prapiroon all the way down here. You see that trough? Kind of pick it. It's going to want to go towards the area of least resistance. That's Prapiroon. Kind of like water flowing down a hill. You see, kind of like contours right in here. That's what they're called actually on this map. And then eventually quickly moves off there towards the northeast, basically likely staying just off the east coast of mainland Japan. Still might see some outer rain bands push across by the latter part of the week. Still a lot of time to watch it, but still we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. Now let's talk about that rain over Japan. This is kind of a 1-2 punch due to Prapiroon surging in a little bit of moisture down there towards the south across the southern Japanese islands, but also that westerly low coming across, and you see rain basically in every major city. Expecting tomorrow some sunny skies, churning in the rain into Tokyo by the evening hours, as you can see here. So thus, anywhere in Japan, you want to have an umbrella on tap because it is going to be a wet one throughout the mid part of your work week. And also a little bit cooler. Temperatures starting to cool down as that northeast monsoon works its way in from the elsewhere, though, conditions are improving across the Philippines. Afternoon thunderstorms starting to kick in, but really nothing as significant as you have been seeing in the past. And over towards China, much fairer weather here. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at WesternPacificWeather.com. One other major note, actually, the Rob Center 1 channel where you watch all these videos on will be dissolving into the near future. We're going to be switching it over to a channel called Westpac Weather. That's WESTPACWX, annotation on the screen. Please click it. Also put the annotation at the beginning of the video if you did not already click it. But also, thanks again for watching, though. Please stay safe out there, everybody. Not just with the weather, but also the other bad things happening in the world. I heard of a horrible incident involving a U.S. military member here in Okinawa, and I just found that absolutely insulting, myself being prior Navy, here on the Japanese people, so I do apologize for that coming from one American to everybody else, if anybody's watching that actually cares about my thoughts on this, because I think it is very significant. But thanks again for watching, though, and stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.